Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mastering Tableau series by Decision Foundry or DF. Decision Foundry has been doing similar masterclasses on other BI platforms. And here is the first episode on Tableau, extensions, and data UX. A few words on the company, Decision Foundry. So DF or Decision Foundry is a leading data consultancy and a global player in helping clients at all stages of their data analytics journey. Our certified Tableau experts have completed 100+ Tableau implementations, and the number is still growing. We are a Salesforce partner, a Snowflake partner, and a dbt partner, which makes us a niche player in the BI world, solving ELT, ETL, and BI problems. I am Lijin Dev Keloth. I'll be the speaker today. In short, I've always been a data guy who is more inclined towards the data visualization or information design side of it. And currently I'm heading the BI engineering practices at DF. So I believe today's session will be slightly different from any other Tableau webinars or events in the past, because mostly in such events, we talk about the native capabilities of Tableau and how it is used in building dashboards, data transformation, and manipulation, right? But the difference in this session is we are talking about extensions, which is not a native capability of Tableau. And we're going to talk about how we could use extensions in building great dashboard or great data user experience. So with that, let's get started. So before getting into the agenda, let me put this statement before, right? So according to Fortune Business Insights, in 2022, the global business intelligence industry has crossed $23 billion in size. That means we put a lot of efforts and money in building sophisticated BI systems, right? But the question is, are we really using it, right? Different studies and surveys show that we have a problem with user adoption rate, and it is always stuck between 15 to 20%. And that's not a great number to have, right? And this is even after solving problems related data accuracy, data availability, and accessibility. So at that particular junction, we think building a great visualization layer with the right KPIs, right data points for the right audience in a very intuitive way. I underline that very intuitive way would be one of the best steps to take to actually curb this problem related to user adoption rate, right? So as we are talking about data UX in this particular session, I think this particular statement makes a lot of context, right? Or even to answer questions like, why are we doing this, right? So with no further ado, let's look at the agenda of today's session. So as the title shouted, we're going to talk extensively on Tableau extensions, how it's built, what's architecture. Then we're going to slide to extension dashboard, right? So that's a new term, which we'll be detailing it out in coming slides, a quick demo of extension dashboard, and a few use cases around it. And if time permits, yes, I'll be happy to take a few questions as well. So on a very high level, like a 20,000 feet view, if you look at the extensions in the Tableau world, there are two types. One set is called dashboard extensions, and the other one is called analytics or analytical extensions. So in this particular session, we're going to talk about dashboard extension in detail. And whenever I say extension, I mean dashboard extension and not the other one, the analytical one, right? But to complete the loop, let me also put some light on analytics extension, right? So consider a scenario where you want to consume data from a third-party analytics server. It could be your R server or Python server, or even recently they've added Einstein Discovery Server, right? So if you want to, these are data science components, right? So it may churn out a lot of results from like after processing a lot of algorithm data. And if you want to consume that, you could actually use analytics extension in Tableau. And the route is very different. It's backend, where you need to use some syntax in the calculated field and retrieve it and use it in your data transformation, and probably culminating in a data visualization, right? A chart or something. But we'll also understand how we could actually use dashboard extension to serve the purpose of analytics extension, right? And now I think it's time to deep dive to dashboard extension, right? So let me do that. So what is Tableau dashboard extension? So it's, in short, it's a web app which can work on a Tableau dashboard, right? So it's built on the SDK shared by Tableau. So you would find this JS library on the GitHub. You can take it, anybody can take it and build the imagination around it. So it's all about you building your app around the JS library provided by Tableau and making it work on Tableau dashboard, right? And that's the name Tableau dashboard extension. For the user, I would also underline this point where it's all about a manifest file. So manifest file is nothing but a file which represent an hosted app. It could be a few parameters, some URLs and all that, and it's in KB. It's like a text file. So for a user, for a Tableau developer, an extension integration is very simple. So there is this manifest file. It's called as text file in the Tableau world. You just need to drag and integrate with Tableau and do some configuration, and boom, it's done, right? So as simple as that. We can show that in coming slide. So at very high level, like a summary statement, it's an app which can work on Tableau dashboard, right? Moving to the use cases of dashboard extension, right? So I'm going to focus on this integrating third parties, right? So look at any platform. I'm sure there are any platform you'll find it doesn't come with all the solutions under the sun. You will find gaps, you will find inefficiencies in different ways, and there could be scenario where you need to integrate other third parties to power it up, right? You need to bring more power to that. So extensions, the Tableau extension or dashboard extension actually makes it easier to integrate third parties. And all other points are implications of that, right? Whether you could integrate a JavaScript library and build a custom visualization, right? You're finding it tough to do some specific task and you want to build a feature on Tableau. Yes, you could actually build that using some libraries attached or some third-party apps. You could even run your own app on Tableau using this dashboard extension, right? That's basically look at a scenario where you want your end consumers of Tableau to key in certain parameters, take those data and make a transformation or some calculation and bring back the data to the user. Yes, that can be done using dashboard extension, right? So there are different use cases, but I would always shout this point where the best way to describe is integrating third parties. So yes, we kind of looked at a bit of theory. Now let me show you a quick example of Tableau extensions. And yep, so if you go to exchange.tableau.com and click on this dashboard extensions tab, you're going to see a zillion listed here. Some are by Tableau and some are by partners like us, right? So I'm going to show you one extension which we have recently built and still maintaining is the dynamic sunburst chart. So let me go and click. Yeah, so you could see this download button, right? That means you can download the text file and use it in your dashboard. So this is all about we finding a gap and building it, right? So when we look at this hierarchical data and how to visualize in a very quick way, very efficient way, we couldn't find a chart, right? Which can drill down within the chart. I'm not talking about drilling down within the dashboard, but one chart when the user interacts, it needs to go to the next level, right? So if you ask me, can we build a sunburst chart on Tableau right now using native capabilities? Yes, it is possible. With some manipulation, yes, it is possible. But a dynamic sunburst chart, probably at this level, not possible at this particular point, right? So we found that gap and then we built it. And apparently it became a proven use case. Within a few months of release, we have completed 10,000 downloads. So I'm not flexing here, but what I'm trying to say is you would actually find gaps even in Tableau, which is a magical tool. But in order to actually bring that up to the pace where you want it, you could actually use something like Extension SDK, right? So SDK definitely helps in any platform, and Tableau, it's all about Extension SDK, dashboard Extension SDK, right? If you ask me, are there different types of listing when it comes to exchange.tableau.com, right? Like we have seen a whole bunch of listed apps running before you, right? Are there different types? The answer is yes. There are two types of extension listing. One is network enabled extensions and the other one is sandboxed. So let's talk about network enabled first. So consider a scenario where you're building an extension, but you are using third parties, right, on fly. You're using JavaScript libraries and it is hosted on a AWS platform. That means a lot of third parties are involved in that. Then Tableau should consider, or Tableau is considering that as network enabled and actually telling people that third parties are involved in this. And while using, just a disclaimer for that. Sandbox is the same extension. And if you can actually make all the library local and give it to Tableau for hosting and maintaining, that's called sandboxed, right? So sandbox is relatively new to the scene, and network enabled was always there from the day one when they launched dashboard extension, right? So we are clear about that. Now let's look at a very high level architecture of dashboard extension or extensions. So you're seeing this entire Tableau environment here, where there is Tableau Server Cloud, and then there is Tableau Desktop. People who are on Tableau would easily understand this. Then you have browser. When I say browser, it's all about a user looking at Tableau, right? So what we need to do if you want to go this extension route, you need to place this web server in between and make it work. So let's take the Sunburst that you have seen right now as an example, and it's a front-end application. There is no backend. So we have used React.js to develop that. So what we have done is we have actually kept the React code, the entire front end on this web server, right? And what it is doing is it's actually using the SDK to communicate with the Tableau engine, right? So whenever there is an interaction from the user, that goes to web server. Maybe it's a click to actually filter that web server, the Sunburst chart. On the fly, it would actually get to Tableau and fetch the required data and throw it back to the browser. So it's all about during development, somebody would actually use ideal case Tableau Desktop to configure this extension and then push it to something like Tableau Server or Tableau Cloud, previously known as Tableau Online. And then it's all about these three guys talking to each other and serving the purpose, right? So I hope it's very clear. Let me also move to the next slide. So I kept talking about that manifest file or Trex file, right? So and I believe we are clear that it's all about, if you want to make an extension work on your Tableau dashboard, it's all about integrating this Trex file on the dashboard. But if you ask me how to implement or where to get it, there are two ways. One is Tableau Exchange, where you have seen that in one of the slides, or you have a local file. It's not necessary that all the extensions should be listed on Exchange to make it work. You could even have a developer who knows a bit of front-end coding. You could actually have that created in-house, hosted on a web server, and make it work internally, right? You just need to do some whitelisting here and there. So in order to show this, I'm gonna take to the next slide where there is a example. So look at this nicely done Tableau dashboard, very much neumorphic in design. I wanna add our Sunburst extension to this, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at this objects panel and look for this extension component. What I need to do is I just need to drag and drop this component on my dashboard, and it would actually open up the window for Exchange. So I'm doing that. I could see the entire list, and I'm clicking on Dynamic Sunburst chart. So I could see this add to dashboard, and that's the easy way to go. And if it's not listed, you need to go and search for this option, access local extension, right? So what I'm trying to say is you could actually have two ways. If it is listed, go directly to the Exchange, download it, or add to dashboard, and that would come on your dashboard. And you just need to do some configuration based on what the developer has told you to do, right? We're gonna see that in a few minutes. And if you don't have that, it's all about a Trex file, then keep it in your local system, pick it up using this access local extension, right? That's how you'll be doing it. So now we are clear about what is extension or what is dashboard extension. Then let's flip the word, and we call it extension dashboard, right? As like a new term. So it was an internal project term, so we just continued using it. So I'm not leaving the Sunburst chart. I'm bringing back the Sunburst chart again. How about I building more widgets around it, right? So let's look at a column chart next to Sunburst. and I'm adding heavy lifting here, like a bunch of column chart in a tabular form with an extra table below that, a group of KPI cards to give more visibility as summary, and then wrapping it up in a HTML page, right, and throwing some CSS code, right? So this is extension dashboard according to us, and this is all about an extension which would serve the purpose of a dashboard, right? And there are different use cases which can actually, like, I will be discussing that after a quick demo. And in short, it's all about highly customizable, highly scalable a dashboard that we can actually build using extension. So I think it's time for a quick demo, right? We have recently developed something internally and mainly for this purpose, and soon we will try to push that on the Tableau Exchange as well. So before jumping to the actual configuration window and showing you how I would be configuring, I'll be actually showing the result, right? So have a look. I'm sure there's a delay, but see this. So how many people would believe that this is a Tableau dashboard, right? So you have this fancy sliders, you have a fancy chart. You could even have a footer and a date picker. That means you could have more custom dimensions as filter, right? So this is heavy lifting, but this is not about native capability of Tableau, but we have pumped a lot of JavaScript and CSS on this, and this looks really different. And it's all about an app, right? So this is just a sample. The possibility is endless. You could actually build any kind of dashboard on Tableau using this method, right? So I think it's time to, because I don't know how many people would believe that this is on Tableau, at least from the people who are from the Tableau world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my Tableau engine to the screen and show you the same example on my Tableau engine. So look at this. So this is a actual Tableau engine. It's a desktop engine, right? So this is the same dashboard, right? You have the sliders working. You have a working drop down, and there is a fancy looking chart, right? I think I should be doing a bit slow because I understand there could be a bit of a delay in LinkedIn Live. Awesome. So I can even go full screen and show you the same screen which I showed on the slide, which was a pre-recorded GIF, right? So yeah, you could comment how many people have seen such a dashboard on Tableau before. Please, I will be curious to know that on the comment section. So now we have seen this. Now let me take you through the configuration side of this, right? So what I need to do is I just need to open a dashboard window, right? And what I have is just a text file. Imagine that there was this developer working for me. I just told him I want a fancy looking dashboard, and he has just created with the designer, sat with designer, created something and gave me this text file, right? So what I need to do first is I need to search for objects, right? Remember one of the slides, and I'm going to drag this extension component on this. So it has popped up. That means, yeah, I'm aware that this particular extension which I'm trying to add is not listed on Tableau as of now. So there's no point of searching on the exchange window, right? So I'm going to go access local extension. And this looks like a text file, but this is a text file. And I'm going to loading it. I'm going to load that. So yes, this configuration window is designed, customized by my developer, and he is actually asking me to do something, right? So I'm clueless. I'm just clicking on different components. I don't see anything, right? The best thing I could do is read all the instructions that he has pasted here. So he's talking about creating a sheet. That's how extension work. It needs a sheet to actually get connected with the data. He's also talking about some best practices and has given me some reference. Okay, so then let me do that first. So I'm gonna do that, the range, minimize that. I think he wants 1200 and 600. Okay, fine. It's a bigger screen, it works well, but still I don't see anything. Now let's look at what he's talking about, the sheet creation, right? Okay, so he has also given a reference. So somebody from Tableau would easily understand what we are talking about, right? He's asking about to create a sheet which has all this green bubbles and blue bubbles. That means continuous data, continuous dimension, and a discrete dimension, right? On columns and row shelf. So yes, I get that. To save time, I have created that. So it's not necessary that I need to use the same data set, right? It could be very different. I just have kept all my KPIs of my interest on the columns, and rows I have one random segment, and week, like order data I've actually aggregated to week, right? So what I need to do now is just need to drag the sheet on this dashboard. So this is why I've dragged, it's to connect this extension engine to Tableau engine. So this is not for the end user. So I can float this. I can even make it micro, right? I'm just putting it there. And the moment I do that, I see sheet 1 popping up in the configuration. I select it. Now I see KPIs for slider. Like you have seen that fancy sliders. I need to select one or more than that. Let me select everything. Yeah. Then there is trend chart. You remember there was in the bottom side, there was a line chart. So I'm going to select all the dimension. I can even select just one, that's fine. And randomly put like taking quantity here. So yes, there is this, would you like to save the settings? So this was actually a problem appeared to us when we were developing this, right? Because when you do this configuration, then you push it to the consumers. Whenever there is a refresh, when there is a new session is starting, it actually goes to the configuration window, like reset was a problem. But then we understood it could be scenario based, right? So you could have certain consumers where you want to have the configuration window open, and there could be certain consumers you want to have like no access to the configuration window, and they just need to consume what you have configured as a developer. So these are scenario based. So we kept as this option. So I've selected yes. That means every time it refresh or somebody clicks tomorrow or day after, it would actually show the same configuration with the updated data, right? So I'm hitting on create dashboard. Yes. So it's working now, right? So I just took probably a few minutes, right? And because I was talking, right? Imagine a place where you need to churn out a lot of dashboards with different data point. You imagine how much the power of scalability here. Right. And also it's not about now it doesn't have ability to change color. You have seen, I think there's ability to change the logo on this particular extension, but we could even make, because this is a custom application on Tableau, you could even make any kind of customization. You could actually give a color picker. You could even make image uploader and pick the trend or the image gradient from the image. So anything which is outside in form of code can be integrated to such an approach on Tableau. This can be easily pushed to a server or a cloud and used as a normal dashboard. So I can even show you the same version in a published form. So this is the same dashboard which I have published. Yeah. So you have this URL, you can actually do that. It's as similar to any other published Tableau dashboard, right? So let me go back to the slide and let's talk about the use cases or implications of this. So recreating dashboards, right? I was actually talking about that in the previous slide, but let's talk about the user adoption first, right? Because that's how we started the session. So imagine there is this niche audience or customer where you believe, or the company believes, that we want to have something really highly customized, right? Maybe it's 5 to 10% of your customer, but that makes a lot of value addition. Yes, you could actually do that. And even if you make a very different dashboard, very different looking dashboard, that could be your entry point and just to increase the user adoption, right? Then comes recreating dashboard. Think of an agency where they need to churn out a lot of similar looking dashboards, but maybe in different colors, different data sets, right? When you have a data pipeline which is ready to consume and ready to feed to something like extension dashboard, it would just take a minute. I think even if there is a bit of practice, you could even churn out 2 dashboards per minute, right? I think it's not a random number I'm saying now, because see the demo that I've taken. Imagine a scenario where you have streamlined your data pipeline. You have all the data ready in the format that you want. Then you have different kind of templates. It's all about you sticking it together and passing to the next, right? So I would say recreating dashboards and user adoption is the biggest one. And if you have this niche customer who's demanding high customization, go for it, right? Now comes the important question: will this replace the existing Tableau dashboards? The quick answer is no. I think we are not trying to place this against the native Tableau dashboards. As I said before, Tableau is magical, right? It has its own like points in terms of power, in terms of building something really quick, changing it very much agile. So we are not talking about replacing current Tableau dashboards. It's all about you have 100 dashboards, then you have this probably like 10 to 20% of dashboards which needs some kind of attention, right? Imagine if there are certain dashboards which would meet the criteria that I explained in the previous slide. Those are the place where we suggest we should actually go for something like a highly customized extension dashboard or dashboard built by extension, using extension, right? So I hope that's clear. I'll also show you some examples. These are examples from different platforms that we have we have created dashboards because we are always believe that great data visualization makes a lot of difference. So we always use our ability to build the best dashboards out of it. So these are all the samples that I'm showing right now are tested on Tableau extensions and are built on other platforms as well. So you would see a commonality in this. So placement analytics, I'm just waiting for that to load. So I think this is one of the most important or favorite of somebody who's at the marketing level, who's also always looking at the plight of marketing campaigns. I'm going to move to interesting gaming one, right? So you could even see the cursor having this target icon, right? So remember, the possibility is endless. You could actually bring any code and integrate on a custom dashboard, right? And also remember, we are not going back to that old world where it takes weeks and weeks to complete a dashboard. No, we are trying to templatize it, right? And use that for a scenario where you can actually churn out. So if there is a scenario where you can actually use this template again and again, that's where they should be placed. And we are not trying to go back to that world where it would take a lot of time to build a dashboard, right? Because that problem is already solved by all the powerful BI platforms, even Tableau, right? Again, yes, a summary view where there is some kind of automated insights at the top. I can give some time. I hope there should be a delay. And one more summary, advertiser summary. And with this, I'll be stopping the dashboard samples. I'm going to talk about 2 more use cases. So till now, we spoke only about data visualization layer, right? But think of building some apps within or showing some app within the Tableau ecosystem for your consumers. Like there is a global company who has users from different countries, and there are tools they use for their internal purposes. Then you want those apps also to get into the Tableau umbrella. Yes, it's possible. Look at the screen. This is a real spend planner, which was a differently hosted URL, right, where user or marketing manager needs to key in a lot of parameters and then click on allocate budget. So it gonna do some custom attribution based calculation at the back end and retrieve the data back and show that, okay, based on this is how you need to be splitting your spend for next spell. Yeah. So that's one use case, right? And I'm not saying this is the only app that can be built. think of any app that's running outside. You could actually bring on Tableau using this. In the world of all these AI engines, chat GPTs and all that, think of an intelligent bot which is facing your BI consumers, right? They see all the KPIs on the dashboard, but at the same point of time, there is this really serious BI bot, AI bot sitting next to them on the same dashboard, and they look at their KPIs and they want to ask something. It could actually go back to the databases and learn something and give it back to the user, right? So this is something my team is actually looking really seriously. And if something pops up as a, like if we can actually materialize, I'm going to come back on LinkedIn Live and talk about that as well. So that kind of completes the use cases of Extension SDK. So I believe this was really useful. I'm also looking at my watch. But before I end or go to questions, I got a bonus. So we were talking about data UX a lot, right? So I'm sure there could be people who are interested in jumping in and see what is this data UX, how to start there, what are the best principles that we could actually follow, right? So we have already solved that for you. We have this extensively detailed ebook, which is on our website. You could actually go and check that out. You could directly go and search for Data UX ebook by Decision Foundry on Google. I think the first link should be this. Don't worry, we are not collecting any emails or any details. It's a direct PDF calling link. You can directly go and download that, right? So hopefully that would be helpful, and hope my session was enjoyable or useful for you in terms of data user experience using extensions, right? I think it's time to look at questions. I think some popped up already here. Awesome. Let me ask, what's the name of the tool used? Rohit, this is super cool. Okay. So the tool is Tableau. Yes. If you are asking about the BI platform, it is Tableau. The screen that you have shown where we are configuring, that's actually called Tableau Desktop. So Tableau comes in different form. So if you go to Tableau website, it has this license, role-based license, creator license, explorer, and viewer, I guess. So if you search for creator, it's all about, you get a prep, you get a desktop. That's what you have seen, and then you get one of this from a combination of Tableau Server and Tableau Cloud, right? Awesome. Rohit says this is super cool. Thank you, Rohit. Alan said hello. Hey, Alan. Ashish says nice. Thank you, Ashish. Yeah, I think that's it from the questions, I guess. Okay, cool. Okay, somebody's asking, could you please share the name of the book that you just mentioned? Okay. So this is called Ultimate BI Rule Book for Improving Data UX and User Adoption. So just look at the screen. You can actually search for Data UX ebook by Decision Foundry. You're gonna find this really quick. It would be the first Google result, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Chaitanya is asking, just a query, is everything with design coded in this text or extension? Everything is coded on the no. Trex is just a manifest file. So everything is on the web server that you have shown. You have seen that architecture where the web server is sitting between the browser and the Tableau engine. So everything is there. The Trex file is just a manifest file. Can you show where the book can be ordered again? No, so Evity, this is not to order. This is a free ebook. Okay, so I think people really want that. Let me, sorry, I'm just screwing that. So look at the screen. You just need to search for Data UX ebook by Decision Foundry. So you don't need to order. It's a free ebook. You will find that on our website. So let me I think make it easier. So you're gonna, after this session, this recording and all the files and samples that I've used will be on this URL, decisionfoundry.com/mastering Tableau. I'm going to include the ebook as well there, right? In that way, I think you don't need to search and make it a tough thing. We will put everything there. Feel free to read or fetch it from there. Yeah, it should take probably 24 to 48 hours. So I'm going to give 1 more minute if there is any questions. Okay, looks like that's it. So thank you guys for taking time and joining this once again. So please remember, you could actually go to decisionfoundry.com mastering Tableau and have all the resources used in this particular session. You could also find some dashboard samples, a collection of dashboards on our gallery. If it is for any use, please just get on there and use it for any inspiration. And make sure that you participate in all future events from DF. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.